we took a little bacon and we took the little beans, and we caught the bloody British in a town in New Orleans.
What's up, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the Beer for Beer Review channel. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's review. So I'm super stoked. I mentioned in the Judge Roy Bean Coffee Stout, linked right here, that the dudes from Fairhope hit me up on Reddit and asked if I would be interested in doing some reviews of their taproom beers. Obviously, Fairhope being 4.5 hours away in Lower Alabama, I am not able to get their taproom releases regularly. Every now and then they do bottle some stuff and they send it up this way. And interestingly enough, one of the beers they sent was Kingslayer from this year, and I have a bottle of Kingslayer from last year. So we're going to do a side-by-side of their barrel-aged Imperial Stout coming up pretty soon. But tonight, what we have is Big Show Double IPA, 9.1% ABV, El Dorado and Azacca hopped. Now, I'm not super familiar with either of these hops. I think, is it Founders that does an Azacca IPA? And I think I tasted it at a beer festival last year, maybe. I don't remember much about it, though. So, I do like Fairhope's Take the Causeway IPA. The only issue we have with it is where I live, a little north of Birmingham. Sometimes freshness is an issue, and I'm pretty picky about the freshness of an IPA. So this box actually arrived today, so I'm getting the double IPA out instantaneously and doing the review on it. I'm not sure when it'll be posted, but I do want to drink it as fresh as possible when it comes to me. So, into the glass we go. Enough talking. Into the untapped glass. I realized when I got ready to do this review that I do not have a Fairhope glass. I do have a Fairhope pint glass, but I don't think I would use it for a double IPA. And let's continue the trend of me not being able to pour from a crowler. Okay? I'll spill it and we'll all be okay. Oh, see, there it goes. I'm going to tilt it up a little bit. I'm going to have a little more head than normal, but we'll spill less. Pour slow. We'll stop right there. I really dig their logo. And the last time I called it a seagull, and it is a pelican. Okay? That is a pelican that is their logo right there on their crowler. And I think it's so cool they do crowlers. I'm a huge fan, other than the fact that I suck at pouring them. Has a red, white, and blue Fairhope hat on. So, what we got is a caramel, amber looking, clear as can be double IPA with about, we'll give it 2 fingers of slightly off-white head, big bubbles, and you got carbonation rushing up from the center of the glass. And I'll tell you what, it's kind of cool to be able to see through a glass for a change. I can see the lights, I can actually see the camera. You guys can actually probably see me through this one. Very clear, very cool. It does sit pretty in the glass though, it's cool. Let's get a nose on it. That's interesting. Okay. So you get some malt character coming off the top of this thing. And then melon, like honeydew melon almost. And I don't know that I've ever said this about an IPA, but pear. It could also be because we just had pears in my house. My grandmother sent some to my son. But I swear I smell pear in this thing. So bready malts, not overpowering malts by any means. The dominant flavor is melon, pear, and just a little bit of tropical notes to it. Got some good lacing going on in this glass. Look at that. I mean, look at that. Can you see that? That's pretty cool. All right, let's get a taste on it. It's been quite a while since I've had a big West Coast double IPA. You know, all the stuff I've been drinking is pretty hazy, New England-y kind of stuff. But these are my favorites still. Here we go. Oh, man. All right, I'm not mistaken. There's pear. One of these hops is contributing some pear flavor. The malty backbone of this thing is not overtly sweet. There's a mild caramel backbone to it that's very pleasant. And the back end of this thing, holy cow, is it West Coast. I mean, huge, piney, resinous, just dank bitterness. You guys remember drinking some of those back in the day, some of those West Coast IPAs that just kicked you everywhere. You guys hear me talk a lot, right, about like a little bitterness on the side of my tongue, a little bitterness on the back. This thing is just jumping up off the floor of my mouth. Everywhere. The side of my tongue, the floor of my mouth, the top of my tongue, all the way to the tip, y'all, for real, the front of my tongue. And it's not there on the front of this thing. The front of this thing is pear and tropical juice, some grapefruit notes. Some of that melon is coming through too. And then after you swallow, it is like, boom. I mean, the bitterness is intense. You know, I'm not getting a whole lot of booze. Mouthfeel, by the way, medium. Nothing to note for real. It's not light, not medium mild. It's just a medium mouthfeel. Good body to it. But man, this thing is bitter and dank. It's good. I like it. I never tell anyone to stay away from a beer. But let me issue a warning on this thing. If you do not like bitter IPAs, I mean real West Coast, piney, dank, grapefruit, bitter IPAs, here's your warning. Stay away from it. It's a big boy drink. Or big girl. It could be a big girl drink too. Not like a big girl, but you know what I'm saying. This makes me wish we got more of their taproom releases. I miss beers like this too, guys. You hear me? I miss these beers. I miss these beers that taste like big West Coast double IPAs. Anyway, Fairhope Brewing Big Show Double IPA, 9.1%. I'm not getting hardly any booze from this thing. Caramel backbone, pear, melon, grapefruit, dank, bitter, good one. Until next time, y'all. Cheers.